Are you undecided when picking your university destination? Or are you worried about missing out anything glaringly obvious when picking your university of choice? Well, don't worry, you've come to the right place, as we're going to share with you our top tips for picking the right university. Maybe you're just starting to look for places, or maybe you've got a list that you can't whittle down any further. That's what we're here to do, as we're about to share with you our list of super important things to consider when looking at your university. Because let's be honest, once you've made that decision, you're stuck with it. So let's help you make the best decision. Sound alright? Stick around and find out. Just quickly, if you're really stuck and there's 2 or more universities that you like, stay to the end. I've got a brilliant tip on how you can whittle it down to just that final one. But again, that's right at the end, so stick around. Anyway, into fact number 1 that you should consider when picking your university. Does the university have the course that you want to apply to? Now, this was something I didn't realise until it came to actually applying to universities, but not all unis do all the courses. Only some unis do the courses. Obviously, some courses will be wider done, so say accounting is one done across all unis, whereas real estate is quite a niche subject, not that many universities do it. So that's when I realised my dream of Cambridge was over, as they didn't do a direct real estate course. Oh well, we move on. I've had a great time at uni. If you're unsure where to find details on which universities do which courses, they'll have it listed on their website, or you can use the which university website. Now, I think you should definitely check this because, in my opinion, the course is more important than the university. The course is what you're going to learn. It could even be online if the current online learning trend continues for safety reasons, or it might just be a more effective way of learning. We don't know yet. We're trying something new. But no, for this and a whole host of other reasons, which I'll cover in my next video, how to pick your course, is why I would choose the course before I chose my university and just pick the university that suited the course. But do let me know if you think that the university would be more important than the course, and just drop it down in the comments below and we can have a discussion about it. Share your views with me. So let's move on to the next factor of things you should consider when picking your university of choice. Factor number 2. Does the university have what you need in order to have a good time? If you have a particular hobby, such as sprint cycling, is there a velodrome? Is there a golf course if you're a golfer? Is there a dance studio if you're a dancer? Or, if the hobby you have needs a group of people, does the university have a society for that group to meet? Or are there any group meetings in that area if it's a city university? They're just all things to consider. Is there anything in particular new that you want to try that might be done at that university or not done at that university? If you're a real foodie, does it have the food places that you might like to go and try? Or simply does the location you're looking to study and have the right nightlife for you? I mean, there's a whole array of factors, I can't cover them all here, but you get the general gist. Moving on to the next thing you should consider. And that is the physical features of the university. How far is it from home? Is coming back and forth from home something you want to consider? Do you want to be far away? Do you want to escape? Or do you want to be close so you can pop back as and when? If you are planning to pop back and bring a car, do you have somewhere you can park it? I'm just going to caveat that point by saying I thought I would come home a lot from university, but it turns out I only really come home 3 times a year when the term ends. So distance wasn't as big of a factor for me as it is for some people, but I know for some people it's a very big factor, and if you're one of those people, it's definitely something you should consider. Just don't be afraid to push the boat out, because you could regret not doing so afterwards. You're also going to want to think about living costs of where you're going. If it is, say, central London, would you be able to live a decent lifestyle? Do you need different jobs? Could that factor into your choice of university? Do you know if you want to go to a city university or a campus university? Have you visited the 2 types to see how they balance out against each other? Do you know which one of those 2 you'd rather go to? You might be the sort of person that wants to get immersed in the diversity of a city and have everything sort of intermingle with one another, or you might like everything separate on a campus all in one place. That may be something you can only find out after going to an open day when you've immersed yourself within the uni, but it's something to consider. You might know immediately which way of the 2 you're going to fall. I didn't know personally, I had to go and experience it, but I'll touch on that later because there's a much better point I want to link it to. And you also want to consider how far away the university is from everything else. I know there's one university in particular that has a reputation for being a campus university, but miles away from everything else, so the town's really far away. Is that something you'd want? Or would you want to be somewhere in close proximity to other places? Do you want another university in the town that you're studying, or do you want to be just the sole university in the town? It's just all things to consider. Talking of things to consider, here's the next thing you'll want to bear in mind when picking your university of choice. You'll want to know how the university makes you feel. Now, this is something that definitely made a big part of my decision, and I'm going to be honest here, I turned up at the University of Reading and I'd made my mind that I was already going to go to a different university. I turned up and I didn't want to like it. I turned up and I fell in love. That's a lesson in open-mindedness, but I shouldn't have been so close-minded. Whereas there was another place that I was determined that I was going to go to and I was going to fall in love with. I'm not going to name it now, but it just wasn't for me when I got there. It just didn't do it for me. Things like leaning back in the lecture hall, having the whole row of chairs go back with me that was meant to be fixed in place, and the bolts in the floor, or the lecturer turned up and they couldn't work the projector, but there didn't appear to be a projector problem, it's just they weren't familiar with the kit because it's not a lecture hall they were normally in. I don't know, it just didn't feel right for me. People always talk about the Cinderella effect with the glass slipper in the foot. Some universities just feel right and there's that click there, and I definitely had that with Reading, so that might be something you have. But you can only get that from going to the open day. Now, do let me know if you'd like me to do a video on how to get the most out of open days. Drop it down in the comments below and I'll be sure to get one out to you. The next thing to consider is what the university offers. Does it offer you accommodation? Is it the type of accommodation you want? Is it at the price you want? Do they know if they don't provide accommodation themselves or you don't want their accommodation? Is there other alternatives? Are there any car parking spaces? Do they offer a study abroad? Do they have any internship sort of connection schemes or anything at the end for graduate employer schemes? Does the university have any connections? So we had one project this year at the University of Reading on real estate where a lot of the literature was written by one individual called Colin Lizieri, who actually was at the University of Cambridge. If you'd have gone to Cambridge and done a similar course, you could have spoke to the person that had done all the literature, and that might be something you're interested in. Societies is another thing. Are they offering things that you want to do or things that you want to keep doing at the university? Do they offer car parking? Do they have a careers team, and are the careers team a good careers team? Do they have insights into the industry? Do they have people coming in? What other things does the university offer that other places might not? Moving on to the next thing you should consider when picking your university. I call icing on the cake, and this includes league tables, but doesn't finish at league tables. But for those of you who might not know, universities get ranked by several different bodies. But be warned, these are done by people have different opinions, people get their opinions from their experiences sometimes, not everybody has the same experiences, so it could be very, very different. It's just something to note. If the same issue keeps cropping up again and again, you might want to see that as a red flag and notice it. So one thing over the years that might have been noted at Reading was the library conditions, but we just had a brand new library put in, so the criticism might not be valid anymore. So it's all about, again, weighing it up and just challenge what you're reading and make sure that the criticism is valid and it would apply to you if it is something that concerns you. Also with league tables, I know for a fact that advertising spending comes into it. They're all the different league tables are different for a reason, and a course can change. You can be there at the university for 3 or 4 years. It could drop there from the 5th rank to the 50th rank in that time. You don't know, so it's just something to take into consideration, but that isn't the be's all and ends all. Other facts of icing on the cake include the reputation of the university, the name and the weight it carries, the student satisfaction score. Sort of links into what I said above, the other things that they offer. The alumni that might have gone there, if you've got any family history of going there. I know I didn't, but some people might have. On that, I would also say that when it comes to looking at different universities and you think you've got it down to a list, try and ask people that have been there before you. Either you might know them through school, through family, through friends, etc. You could do it on forums such as the Student Room. You could look at student satisfaction scores on the aforementioned league tables. You can look at student satisfaction scores on the which website for which university. Just look if people are enjoying their experience on a whole. Generally, people will only post if they have an extreme view of good or bad. But again, it's just a gauge, and if the same thing keeps cropping up, it's probably worth having a look at deeper. On to my 2 final points for if you're struggling to narrow it down. Granted, the second tip will be more helpful than the first, but the first is still useful nevertheless, especially if you've got a big list of universities that you need to narrow down. And to get that list down, what I'd recommend doing is writing down everything that is important to you and ranking it either directly or into categories of most important to least important. And then go through every university you've got and see what satisfies what box where. Just getting everything down on paper can help to make the decision easier and help you to picture things easier. I know it does for me. But once you've done this, you can then begin to whittle the university down to you've got a much shorter list of the top few, possibly even top 1. Now, just quickly as a side note, make a list of the universities that you do like. So if you do decide to go through clearing, or you're involuntarily going through clearing, then you've got a good picture of where you may like or where you may not like to go. But anyway, on to this final tip of how you can actually get it down to just one university. And that is, drumroll please, through flipping a coin. Now don't click off the video, it's not actually the flipping of the coin that matters, the result isn't what matters. What matters is how you feel directly afterwards. So, say you've got it down to 2 universities, Warwick and Coventry, and you can't pick between the two. If you say heads is Warwick, tails is Coventry, flip the coin, bang, it comes out with Warwick. If you have that instant feeling of relief of, oh, thank God, then you know that the Warwick will be the university choice for you. If it lands on heads Warwick and your instant reaction is, let's flip again, let's do best of 3, then you know where you actually want to go to is Coventry. Somebody told me this tip, I can't remember who it was, but I mean that's really stuck with me and I've used that in a few different decisions and I haven't looked back so far, so if it can help me, I hope it can help you too. But nevertheless, thank you for sticking around, thank you for watching my video. Please don't just go where your girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, friends are going. If they're real friends, they'll stick around, especially in the UK. It's not that big, the real ones will stay no matter where they are. So thank you very much for watching my video. I hope I have helped you to whittle down your university choices. If I have, please leave the video a like and a subscribe. Hit the bell icon and you'll be notified when my next video is going to come out about how to pick your university course. As always, thank you very much for your time and have a wonderful rest of your day. Good luck picking universities.